In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on December 12th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Indiana Pacers versus Philadelphia 76ers. The Indiana Pacers roll into Philadelphia on Friday night for a road date with the 76ers, and the injury report is doing a lot of the talking. Indiana is still without Tyrese Halliburton, Obi Toppin, Aaron Nesmith, and Ben Shepherd, which is the kind of list that makes you double-check you're not reading a preseason recap. Philly, meanwhile, has already ruled out Trendon Watford and Kelly Oubre Jr. for this one. Philly opened as the home favorite, and the recent results at least explain why. They'd strung together 3 straight wins before dropping a tight one to the Lakers last time out. Indiana's been scrappy too, winning 4 of the last 6, and they've covered 8 of the last 10, but the schedule has helped soften the landing. Those wins came against the Wizards, the Kings, and the Bulls, with Chicago showing up twice. And yeah, that matters when you're trying to price how real the momentum is. Here's the thing, I don't love trust as a betting term, but it fits here. The Pacers are banged up enough that their night-to-night range swings, and it's hard to bank on clean offense or steady rotations when so many pieces are missing. On the other side, this is about as healthy as the 76ers have looked, with Embiid and Maxey listed probable and PG-13 not showing up on the injury report at all. At home, with the headline guys available, you expect a sharper performance, and the building usually adds a little extra juice when the stars are actually in uniform. Philly can still be Philly, so surprises are always on the menu, but the spot is favorable, and the number isn't asking for a miracle. The Pacers are just 1-10 on the road so far, and that kind of split tends to show up again until a team proves otherwise. As our first pick for this matchup, the Philadelphia 76ers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Maxey loves to push, but it's not always track meet basketball when Embiid is sharing the floor, and George is involved too. That's part of why Philly sits 18th in pace of play. They can run, but they don't have to sprint every possession. Indiana generally wants to get out and go, but injuries can quietly change that, not just in speed, but in shot quality and how quickly you can get into your actions. And when rhythm gets choppy, unders start showing up like clockwork. The Pacers have gone under in 2 straight and 5 of the last 7. Philly has gone under in 4 straight and 5 of 6. Put those trends together with a slower Philly profile and an Indiana group still patching minutes together, and the case leans toward a lower scoring script, but only once you account for how the rotations actually look in real time. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Bulls versus Charlotte Hornets. The Bulls and Hornets meet at the Spectrum Center on Friday night, and the first thing that jumps off the page is the injury report, because it's doing a lot of the talking right now. Chicago is still short-handed with Ayo Dosunmu, Kevin Huerter, and Trey Jones ruled out, while Charlotte has Colin Sexton, Pat Connaughton, LaMelo Ball, and Trey Mann already marked unavailable. That's the kind of list that changes how you game plan, and it can turn a normal matchup into one of those someone has to be the adult nights. Chicago's been stuck in the mud for a couple of weeks, and the blowout loss to the Warriors on Sunday didn't exactly scream turnaround. Still, they've started getting bodies back, and that's the sneaky part people gloss over. Chemistry doesn't snap into place like a light switch. Sometimes you get healthier and look worse for a beat, just because rotations and timing need a minute. Meanwhile, the Hornets have flashed real improvement lately, and they hung around with Denver for most of their last game, which is usually a good sign for effort and buy-in. It also makes them tempting as a home underdog, because nobody likes laying points with a team that's been burning tickets. And yes, Chicago's been brutal for bettors, sitting at 1-9 against the spread over their last 10 games. Plus, they just lost to Charlotte a couple of weeks ago, so the hesitation is fair, even rational. But when you strip it down, Chicago still grades out as the better team in this spot, especially with the Hornets missing so much. Charlotte isn't exactly scary at full strength, and without Sexton, Ball, and the rest, the talent pool gets shallow fast. This is the kind of matchup that's supposed to reset a skid, and if it doesn't, people will start asking louder questions about responsibility because excuses run out. With the number looking soft, the case lands on Chicago finally handling business, not because it feels fun, but because the setup almost demands it. As our first pick for this matchup, the Chicago Bulls to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams' profiles point to defense being more of a rumor than a promise. The Bulls are putting up 117.3 points per game on 46.6% shooting, and they're giving up 122.6 points on 47.5% shooting. They're hitting 36.6% from deep and 79.1% at the line, while allowing 36.7% from three and pulling down 45.5 rebounds per game. Charlotte sits at 114.3 points on 45.3% shooting, but they're allowing 118.3 points on 49.2% shooting. The Hornets are at 34.2% from beyond the arc and 82.4% from the stripe, and they're giving up 39.3% shooting from deep while grabbing 44.6 rebounds per game. So even if the shot-making wobbles, there are still multiple paths to points, free throws, leaky perimeter defense, and enough missed rotations to gift clean looks. On the flip side, if either team starts cold, the numbers also suggest possessions can die without a whistle rescue, especially with three-point variance doing what it always does, ruining moods in group chats. When you add it up, the safer read is that the total has more downside than upside, and the under becomes the cleaner lane once you weigh both teams' efficiency and what they typically allow. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Atlanta Hawks versus Detroit Pistons. The Atlanta Hawks head to Detroit to face the Pistons at Little Caesars Arena on Friday night, and the first thing you notice is the availability board. Atlanta is still short-handed, with Trae Young and Kristaps Porzingis both out, while Detroit has ruled out Isaac Jones. That kind of news always nudges the market, sometimes a little too far, especially when the home team is already getting the safer label. Detroit does come in looking like the steadier option at home, and Atlanta's recent stretch before the Wizards win wasn't pretty. But betting the spread isn't the same thing as picking a winner. It's more like pricing risk for a living and hoping your spreadsheet doesn't laugh at you. The Pistons have kept winning, sure, yet they failed to cover 7 of their last 8 games, which is the sort of detail that makes you squint at the number. Then there's Atlanta's weird road personality. 10 of their 14 wins this season have come away from home, and they've been solid against the number too, sitting at 14-11 against the spread on the season with covers in 5 of their last 6 games. Add in the head-to-head trend, the underdog has covered 6 of the last 8 meetings, plus that recent 1-point Pistons win less than 2 weeks ago, and it starts to feel like a matchup that stays tight more often than people expect. Atlanta is also 13-6 against the spread in their last 19 games as a road underdog, and that combo matters when the line gives them real breathing room. As our first pick for this matchup, the Atlanta Hawks to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. The scoring profile here pops even before you get cute with angles. Atlanta is averaging 118 points on 48.5% shooting, and they're allowing 116.5 points on 46.9% shooting, so you're rarely watching a slow grind with them. They hit 36.9% from 3 and 78.5% at the line, while giving up 34.8% from deep, and they pull 41.8 rebounds per game. Detroit's numbers lean the same way. The Pistons are averaging 118.8 points on 48.2% shooting and allowing 113.3 points on 44.8% shooting. They shoot 35.4% from beyond the arc and 74.7% from the free throw line, while allowing 36.3% from deep, and they grab 46.8 rebounds per game. When both teams live around the high teens in scoring and neither defense is holding opponents in a box, the cleaner read is that points can stack, even if the pace comes and goes in spurts. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Cleveland Cavaliers versus Washington Wizards. Washington welcomes Cleveland to Capital One Arena on Friday night, and the injury report is doing its usual thing, throwing sand in the gears. Cleveland is still short Jarrett Allen, Max Strus, Larry Nance Jr., and Sam Merrill, while Washington has already ruled out Alex Sarr, Chris Middleton, Bilal Coulibaly, and Corey Kispert. These teams saw each other on November 7th, and Cleveland ran up a 148-115 road win in that one. Cleveland's last outing was a weird one, a 99-94 loss to Golden State State on Saturday, the kind of game where you keep waiting for the offense to wake up and it just never really does. Still, the break between games can work like a reset button, kind of like closing all your tabs and pretending you're a new person. The Cavs have been searching for that smoother rhythm they showed last season, and this spot gives them a clean chance to steady the ship. There's also a little optimism floating around that Allen, plus Merrill and Struss, could be back as soon as this weekend. On the other side, Washington's season has been rough, and that's putting it gently. They've managed just 3 wins so far, and while there's not much to cling to in the standings, teams like this can still be pesky when the game script gets strange. It's also worth remembering their few wins have come as double-digit underdogs, so the nothing-to-lose vibe can show up out of nowhere. But without Sarr, Middleton, and Coulibaly, the rotation gets thinner, and the margin for sloppy stretches gets even thinner. Here's the thing with the side: you don't need poetry, you need reasons. Cleveland has won 13 straight meetings against Washington, and the last 5 were by double digits. In Washington, they're on a 6-game win streak, and they've covered in 8 of the last 12 overall against the Wizards. Road double-digit spots can feel gross, like ordering gas station sushi, but the matchup history and the current availability gap keep pointing the same way. When Cleveland is itching for a stabilizing win, this is the kind of opponent that can let them play simpler, run their stuff, and avoid the spiral. As our first pick for this matchup, the Cleveland Cavaliers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full-game side pick. Washington's defense has been bleeding points all year, allowing an NBA-high 128.3 points per game. But that doesn't automatically mean every night turns into a track meet. With Sarr and Middleton out, Washington loses key scoring options, and that can turn possessions into longer, grindier trips, the kind where you end up late in the clock more than you'd like. Cleveland also hasn't been humming lately either, with the offense stuck in neutral in that 99-94 loss to Golden State. Add in that Washington ranks 24th in the NBA in home scoring, and it's easier to see a path where the total doesn't get the help it needs, even if one side has a decent night. Sometimes a messy roster just produces messy offense, and messy offense is how unders cash. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.